Hello, I am Anawaltus, and welcome to another episode of the Stronghold Crusader AI Tournament. Last time on Stronghold Crusader AI Tournament, the Caliph absolutely destroyed the Sheriff, and this time we have the Sultan against the Marshal. Now this one is going to be an interesting one if you ask me, because the Sultan, you may think the Sultan is pretty weak.
Your popularity is
falling. His castle has a lot to be desired, design-wise, and a lot of his troops are pretty weak. But the Sultan does use swordsmen, the Arabian swordsmen, that is, and later on in the game he uses them in large amounts. So I wouldn't count the Sultan out. There's definitely a chance for the Sultan to win. Meanwhile, the Marshal, he's got his knights, he's got some archers, he's got some swordsmen. We're going to, a very balanced army, I'd say. We're going to see how it turns out in the end. It is very notable that the Sultan does not actually have any farms, which means he's going to be heavily relying on wood and stone. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that turns out eventually. If the Sultan is buying all of his food. Meanwhile, the Marshal likes to diversify his economy. Look at that. He's got iron, he's got cheese, he's got the stone, and he's got the
People
wood.
Are leaving the castle.
That's what I like to call variety, and variety is good. But the question is, who is going to take me out and claim that monetary boost that you can get, that big, fat, juicy boost? And also, it is going to be more important for the Marshal to take me out, because the Marshal's economy does actually rely on farms that the Marshal is building in these areas. So I guess that is going to be an important aspect to look at. Meanwhile, the Sultan is continuing to build up. The Marshal, however, has already walled off the keep, and this is going to offer a great amount of defense. We see a swordsman walking up here. That implies to me that maybe a swordsman got hired, which means that military equipment production has begun. That the weapons buildings are, of course, in place, and by some sounds that I've heard, and by looking at that, they are active. So the Marshal is already on the move, getting those units up. Let's take a look at the wealth. The Marshal is considered ahead, even though the Marshal is down on both money and troops. But the Sultan, he really is gathering together quite an army, although many of the members of that army are relatively weak. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. By the way, speaking of two verbs with the word "and" in between, I do have to object to how some people like to phrase things. For example, try and catch me. What does that even mean? Shouldn't it be try to catch me? Don't use a conjunction when you can use a preposition.
We are under attack.
That's just my thoughts.
A message from the Sultan. The camels are restless. A bad omen for you, I think.
Oh no. The camels are restless indeed. And I think I might have some dead archers on my hands. There they are.
Under attack. People are coming to the castle.
But the Sultan has begun attacking, so that definitely tells me that the Sultan might actually get a boost since the Sultan is so eager to attack this early on. However, if the Sultan is attacking, that could mean that the Marshal won't be too far behind. But I guess that is a matter of time until we find out.
A message from the Sultan. The sky was not bright for the Sultan today.
Man, I love the Sultan. I love a nice poet king. But today...
No change in the treasury.
Today I'm already
lord.
below half. So the Sultan definitely is not taking this lightly. Let's take a look. The Marshal is still considered ahead, even though the
People
Marshal
are
has
leaving the
less money
castle.
and less troops. But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon whether the Marshal is interested in launching some attacks. Because 8 archers, or 9, well, depending on how many there are right there, because there could be more than one right there. Depending on how many archers the Marshal has up here, the Marshal might be bogged down if the Marshal is attacked by the Sultan. The Sultan still has not completed the wall. But, no rush. All's fair that ends fair. Isn't that
We are under attack.
the saying? No, it, of course, is not the saying, but here we see Sultan moving some troops around. But, no indication of any attack in the immediate future. Meanwhile, the Marshal, it seems that the Marshal may have completed his castle. I guess we're going to find out when this next load of stone comes in. Is he going to sell it or is he going to build?
A message from the Marshal.
I trust this will be a fair fight.
Uh-oh. This could spell the end for me. The Marshal has decided to attack before the Sultan has launched his second attack. I have no archers. There is one swordsman on the way. There may be another one somewhere, but I don't see any. Marshal is not attacking the Sultan. Here comes the swordsman, climbing up. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think one is going to be enough.
A message from the Sultan. The desert wind blows hard towards your home.
The lord is under attack.
But wait! There's a whole bunch more coming.
People are leaving the castle.
The question is, are they going to be able to make it there fast enough? Who's going to make it first? It's a race to the hill. It's a race up the hill. Who's going to make it to kill me first and get
People are
that
coming to the castle.
juicy bonus in money? It looks like the Marshal is going to be there first. But depending on... Oh! There's some archers coming in. They're slowing them down. But it's too late. It is too late for the Sultan. The Marshal has received...
Well, that wasn't very clever of you, old man.
And has now destroyed my gravestone. What a douchebag. Come on. Keep it chill, man. Anyway. Now the real fight begins. Now the real skirmishing is going to start. The gate is closed, and it's the only gate. It is hurting the Sultan's economy. And here they come, or I should say here they go. The slingers are moving in to deal some heavy damage to the Marshal's retreating swordsmen. Now they engage the marshal's archers. And a skirmish ensues. But they're too close to the marshal's walls, and they're not going to really be able to deal any significant damage. But they are definitely hurting the marshal's economy. See, the Sultan is low on food. Well, not low on food. I meant low on gold. But food seems to be alright. Now that the walls are complete, the Sultan can put all of his stone into selling it in order to acquire gold to buy necessary food and troops. And it looks like the marshal apparently was not complete. The marshal is going to build, or I should say dig, a moat around a second moat by the looks of it. A double moat. We're going to see how that turns out. But let's take a look. The marshal is on top, having more money. And it looks like that 500 definitely helped out, since the marshal is now below 300. But they are equal in troop number, which should be concerning for the Sultan, since the Sultan had the early advantage. And on average, I would say that the marshal's troops are slightly stronger, although they both have positive fear factor. Actually, the Sultan has a significantly positive fear factor. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. But I'm watching this moat being dug. And it is going to offer just another obstacle for the Sultan's troops. However, this means that the Sultan is not going to be attacking at the front. The Sultan is going to be attacking on the sides here in order to reach the walls, and perhaps here as well when he attacks, because that's how they go. Let's take a look monetarily. Sultan and the marshal, neither of them has any significant financial advantage or any numerical advantage in troops. It continues to be an even game. But here comes the marshal with some knights who would usually be raiding farms right now, but there's no farms to raid. So maybe, just maybe, the AI is confused. This could be a significant advantage for the Sultan. You have the AI confused. Now they're all going to focus down the last one. However, this allows the marshal to work his economy unobstructed, and look at that, a whole host of knights moving around. Gates should be opening. There it goes. The economy springs back to life. But the Sultan's economy was damaged by that moment. And they still seem to be around even on the statistics, but the marshal has solidly been in the lead according to the greatest lord calculation. So I guess we're going to find out eventually what that means. But here comes the marshal taking out a group of archers. Not the marshal, the Sultan taking out a group of the marshal's archers. What am I even talking about? Sometimes the words that come out of my mouth don't make any sense. And in those times, I would seriously like to apologize to all of you for such nonsense. Very unprofessional. But here it is. The completed project. It is an island. Sealed away by a moat. There go the knights. Gathering together. Marshal is now ahead on troops, but only slightly. In fact, not significantly at all. But here is another group of knights rushing right towards the wall, stopping, and getting killed. But I guess what they are accomplishing is holding that gate closed, which in the long run is going to severely damage the Sultan's economy. And there they go. The Marshal's knights are killing all the slingers and the woodcutters. They're on the move, so they're not going to retaliate. The Sultan is now down on troops due to that event. And is out of money. Uh-oh, that's not going to be very comfortable. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's bad. That is a no-no. That is an unwanted situation if I ever saw one. No food was purchased. But it looks like the Marshal is finally going to get underway with launching the siege attack. And there they go. The siege engines, they're going to deal a ton of damage to the Sultan's castle. If they can hit it, that is. The walls are relatively thin. The towers aren't very large. And the granary is destroyed. And now the... Oh! He hit a guy on top of a gate. That's a rare sight. That's a very accurate hit. Let's take a look at that gate. It is not going to last much longer, that's for sure. But neither are those siege engines. So I guess they're going to have to cut those walls down by sword. Which, in real life, sounds like a very bad idea. Meanwhile, the Marshal is raiding the Sultan's quarry. Sultan has no food, but his popularity still remains decent. But his swordsmen are attacked by a group of slingers. And in the end, the Sultan seems to be winning in the melee. Wait, no, never mind. The Marshal won the melee. Uh-oh. That is a very unfortunate event for the Sultan to have lost that fight. That means that a lot of the Sultan's troops are dead. Let's take a look. 29. Yeah, the Marshal still is up at 72. The Sultan is really going to have to work hard to recover from this. But it is notable that now the Marshal only has a handful of knights to engage in this fight. And now the Marshal needs to rebuild before proceeding. Marshall is getting plenty of wood, some hops, some cheese. Stone and the iron is coming in. Marshall seems to be prospering, if I do say so myself. And I do indeed say so myself. The gatehouse is very low. The next siege attack is going to destroy it, if it hits it even once, with those trebuchets. Marshall is rising in troop count. The Sultan is recovering, but the recovery seems to be very slow, and now the Sultan is losing population. And the Sultan does not have the funds required to restock food supplies. So that is going to seriously hurt the Sultan's ability to recover. But it looks like the Marshal isn't giving the Sultan a break. Not today. The Marshal is coming back again with another force to attack. But it seems that the trebuchets are far too far away, and that isn't going to lend itself to any success here. I say you should have built them a lot closer. He should have built them a lot closer. But it doesn't matter because the Sultan tore down his own gatehouse. And is now losing troops because the Marshal's archers have, or bowmen, have a superior range than the slingers. But the Sultan does have bows of his own to fire back with. And you see that they are very effective. But the swordsmen are going to come in now. No knights yet. Swordsmen are crossing the swamp. And any moment now they will be moving straight north. Or wait, they're not going to? Yes. Yes, they are. The Sultan does not have very many swordsmen left to counter this attack, and his fear factor is inferior now.
A message from the Sultan.
But the Sultan does have fire, and that fire seems to be very devastating here. It seems like the Sultan will survive this time, at least. But for how much longer? I think that's the question that we're all asking. How much longer will the Sultan survive? And I fear that the answer may be not very long. But I guess we're just going to have to find out. But what's this? The Marshal is sending out some knights? Where are they heading? So we're going to have to follow them to find out. There they go. Past the dairy farm. Wait, no. We're just patrolling. Nothing serious. The Marshal is not being very efficient with that method of dealing with the Sultan's woodcutters. But in the end, it worked out. Without getting that wood, the Sultan is not going to recover at all. It looks like the Sultan might have a sliver of a chance, a slim glimmer, another different way to phrase that, a slim glimmer, a sliver of a chance. But there he goes. Woodcutter is moving northward and is not being intercepted by any archers, any knights, nothing. But in the end, the granary costs 5. So I guess we're going to see which building is going to get rebuilt. Not the granary, by the looks of it. And it looks like the Marshal has already begun dealing some damage to the Sultan.
A message from the Sultan. The pond is dying in the Sultan's oasis.
One by one, those buildings are going to get destroyed. And now, here come the trebuchets. But the Marshal isn't committing a large army toward the attack. The granary is destroyed once more. And now, the marketplace. It's going to be extremely difficult to recover now. Marshal's archers are attempting to take out Sultan's archers, but with only limited success. And it looks like the Marshal is dealing some damage here, destroying all the buildings, but here comes the swordsman. We're going to get a lot of fire concentrated on them, but if they survive, they might be able to take out those archers. And those archers are down. Now the attack shifts directly to the Sultan himself. Is he going to survive it? And is the swordsman going to get hit? No, he's not going to get hit by the trebuchet. So here comes the next wave of swordsmen. 4 swordsmen down to half. The next attack consists of 4 as well. We could expect the Sultan to die. And it seems like the only hope the Sultan has now, or the only hope the Sultan now has, if you want to rearrange the sentence in a different manner, is getting some wood. But unfortunately, it seems that that is going to be very difficult. But no worries. The Marshal attacks once more, this time with 3 swordsmen. Why, Marshal? Why must you prolong this? Why? Why must it be prolonged? What is there to gain from prolonging the suffering? Prolonging the suffering. The archers are hitting some of the slingers, which is going to make it even easier for the swordsman to get inside. But the Sultan himself has come out from hiding to eliminate the archers. And unfortunately for the Marshal, the Sultan did not get hit by the trebuchet fire. But there are only 4 slingers left. And 3 swordsmen are making their way up. But I don't know if they'll be able to take out the Sultan. The question is, are they all going to... Wait, no, there's a 4th one! I think this might be the end. I didn't see that one. That is the dark horse here, just coming out of nowhere. A 4th swordsman going in to battle. Of course, we're going to assume that they're going to all survive and make it. And 2 of them got stuck? What? That's unfortunate. What happened to them? What? Is this a glitch? Looks like it is. They tried walking onto that wall, but the wall is too tall to walk off of. That's a glitch. That is 100% a glitch. And one of them got hit with the trebuchet. Oh boy. And now we're retreating. And we can tell he's stuck because he's not retreating. But the Sultan is very low. I'd say 1 or 2 more swordsmen ought to do it to finish him off. Still 4 slingers left. Deforestation. Not extreme, since only 1 player really is doing it. The Marshal is building up troops once more. The Marshal has a large treasury and is likely going to win. What's this? 5 swordsmen? 5 swordsmen! It looks like the Marshal intends to finish it off. But wait, there's a swordsman moving in. That's the 4th swordsman. Or maybe that was the 2nd or 3rd swordsman, because one of them got trapped, and it was the 4th one that walked past the one that got trapped. It'd be interesting if the Sultan were killed by an archer, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to be that way. But once a single one of those swordsmen gets there, he's going to kill the Sultan. There's 5 of them moving in. Trebuchet slowly but surely taking control of the land. See if anybody understands that reference. And here they come, crossing the swamp, moving past the camels, about to head north. But it looks like the trebuchets are hitting in that area, and that might cause some problems if, let's say, the trebuchets were to eliminate all 5 of the swordsmen. But fortunately, such eventuality is very rare, and it has not happened. And here's the end.
A message from the
There it is.
Sultan. As all must sleep.
We actually got to the end of the game.
So must the poor Sultan.
So yeah, this is a conclusive victory for the Marshal. Let's take a look. Troops 146. That's actually not a lot. Of course, not a lot of troops were produced throughout the game, but they both lost some. The Marshal definitely acquired a lot of gold, a lot of food, a lot of wood. I would have to say, however, that the Sultan seems to have been very efficient in his stone production, and population-wise, the Marshal definitely won out. And yes, the Marshal produced more troops and won. So that's it for now.
Oh dear.
Bother!
But
Choose
next
your
time,
adversary.
we're going to have the Lionheart against the Abbots. Oh boy, that's going to be an interesting one. And once we're done with that, we will have finished the first round of the tournament, and we will be able to match up the next set of fighters. And we'll have a few matches of that, and then we'll go to the third one, and so on, until we have one final victor. And on that note, I will be seeing you all next time. Thank you for watching, and I will toss over and out.